Ah, now that we got done talking about DeSoto and Ithaca playing baseball, shall we dive into the other scores that were reported to the local media and the scores some people texted me through various ways that they know how to get a hold of me? We'll start on the softball circle, I guess. Give the ball diamond a break and hop onto the softball circle. In softball, Toma played Onalaska in an MVC battle. I know, some of you might be going, wait, hit the brakes here, Rob, hit the brakes. You don't ever really talk about the MVC because you try and talk about the small schools as much as possible. What are you doing here? What are you doing to where you're talking about the big schools for a change? Well, Toma did something that I don't see happen very often, but, well, actually, I guess softball is very common, but I haven't seen it happen here in a while. And softball, apparently, if you're up by 15 or more, it's over in 3 innings or something insane like that, which makes sense. But how about after the first inning, not being up by 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9? How about being up 18-0 after the first inning? And then, after the third inning, when they called it, it sounds, the final score was Toma 22, Onalaska Goose Egg 22-0. That sounds like a game where if I had to drive out to Toma, I would have been disappointed for you going out to watch that big of one-sided game because I don't like lopsided one-sided games. I think they're boring and defeat the purpose and are dumb. But, everyone's different. I'm sure the Toma fans were loving it while the Onalaska fans packed up and went home early and said, I love you, kid. I know you're my daughter, I love you, or you're my sister, or my grandchild, my niece, but whatever. And I love you, but, it's 18-0 after the first inning. I'm going home. But now we're going to dive into the, another game from the MVC, because why not? I'm already on the MVC bandwagon for this segment, so let's see where I can go with this. Holman won 5-0 against La Crosse Logan. La Crosse Logan's now 3-8 on the year, 3-5 in conference play. They started out the season 3-1. You do the math on what kind of streak they're on right now and get back to me. Shouldn't be that hard to figure out if you know math. If you're doing the whole Common Core math way that they teach you in these classes, my condolences, because you're trying to do a sort of math that makes no sense to anybody that doesn't just sit in an academic math classroom. And even then, the math teachers and professors are scratching their heads trying to figure out a way to explain it to people. No, seriously, my college professor had to try and figure out a way to explain Common Core math to us because it was making no sense to them. And they teach it for a living. But from what I've seen on the highlights and what people sent me and told me about that game, it sounds like a classic errors and not knowing where to throw the ball once again came back to haunt them, and not knowing what this concept of the cutoff man is. And it may or may not be the fact that they could have potentially been throwing the same pitcher again. I'm not exactly sure, but apparently in softball, you could throw the same pitcher pretty much every single game and nobody cares, and there really ain't much of a pitch count limit apparently. Which I thought you just needed a at least having 3 pitchers. But yeah, it was something that was incredibly stupid. So we're going to dive into the other Ridge and Valley score I have that got to me from the other side of town where I was today, in Ithaca versus DeSoto. That game was one-sided. The final score is Ithaca 12, DeSoto 1. I can't say anything about a game I wasn't at, and had seen no highlights, no footage, no nothing. I just have a score. Like, I literally only have the score. I cannot go off of anything other than the score, and sounds like it was a really, really brutal year for them so far. Comes with every learning experiences. They'll figure it out. GET and Blair Taylor played each other in what I think was a battle of the Cooley Conference and Dairyland Conference. Maybe it's a Cooley Conference battle. That Cooley Conference is all over the map. Like, we're gonna go a little off course here for a second, so hope you have some good running shoes on, because we're gonna be off-roading it on a whole different course here quick. The Cooley Conference, you'll have on a map Viroqua and Westby. Okay. West Salem, Onalaska, Luther. Okay, that's not so bad. GET. Let's see. Black River Falls. Arcadia, I think. Anyways, it's a map. It's all over the map. The Dairyland's kind of like that too, but not as broad. But GET won that game, lost that game 10-1 to Blair Taylor, because Blair Taylor's pitching was, from what I saw on highlights, Blair Taylor's pitching just, there was no touching them. They were that good. And then Black River Falls, or as some people abbreviate it to as BRF, and I'm waiting for someone to add the A between the B-R-F and then make it say BARF. I'm sure the people are used to that too. Westby, they won 5-2 on that one. It looks like their pitching did the same thing, and it was held off Black River Falls in that pitching duel. I did have the La Crescent score gave to me. They said the final score was 18-1, but they never told me who won 18-1. Was it 18 for La Crescent? Was it 18 for... let's see. Yeah. Whoever it is they're playing, who had the 18, who had the 1, which means who laid the butt kicking and who got the butt kicking. That's all I want to know. On to baseball, where we got, you know what? I'll just cover the 2 big schools out of the way. Now, Central won 7-2, and Logan won 12-6. Those are 2 big schools. On to our small school products. In the Ridge and Valleys Conference, North Crawford beat Lafarge 9-4. All right, little schools. Someday, Lafarge. Someday. I'm rooting for you to compete someday. And, let's see. In baseball, the beatdown Blair Taylor laid on GET got the favor returned, and GET on their all-turf ball field Don't get me started, but other than it's baseball, we don't play baseball on turf. We play it on grass and dirt. Just grass and dirt. You gotta get dirty. Grass and dirt is what you play baseball on, not artificial turf. But, GET won 12-1. Whitehall and Augusta. Hey, Whitehall won 12-3. And on the other side of the Mississippi River, it looks like, insert chicken scratch here, Lyle Pacelli beat Spring Grove 3-1. Sounds like it was an interesting night for those guys. We had a lot of local sports going on in the area. There were no high school track meets today, as I talk about them. But, well, I guess technically today there are, not because according to the clock on my computer in front of me, it's 12:05 in the morning. But yeah, they yesterday on May 1st. Now we say, I guess there were no track meets, but we were sure loaded when it came to baseball and softball talent in the area, and it was incredible and fun to watch. Now let's have more fun while it all heats up, playing a bunch of makeup games.